limitation, limitation, limitation. We have been living in the limited dimension for far, far, far too long. What is limitation? According to its definition, it's simply a restriction that limits us through rules or circumstances. Wow, this definition suits it perfectly. As we've seen from the time we were born, we have been taught limited expectations, limited ways of living, just limited depictions of pretty much surviving and living in this life. Well, I'm here to share with you that we have to step out of this limited dimension as we are all evolving into infinite potential, infinite possibilities of representations of who we're here to truly be. Take, for example, as a child, you're in school. You even have limited subjects that you ought to learn. Basic ones of math, English, science, you know. There's so much limitation placed around us. You pretty much grow up. The expectation, you go to school, you may go to a university, you get married, you have kids, you work until maybe from your 20s to your 60s. Some may work a little bit later until they reach retirement age. And you're expected to retire, and then before you know it, you leave this earth, and your life no longer exists. So, as we're being shifted and we're all evolving at this time, this great topic of limitation comes up. Limited in our behaviors, in our patterns, in the expectations of us from others, just a limited state of existence. Wow. And so I'd like to shed light on, as we all go through this great awakening, Earth itself has awakened and shifted in high dimensional frequency. We too are seeing that we're so multi-dimensional that we can no longer remain in this limited thought forms and perceptions of ourselves. If you were someone who simply believed that, wow, I've always just been someone who, I've been maybe a teacher. I've spent most of my years teaching, and that's all I know how to do. That's all I think that, that sets me on fire, It's kind of limited, but maybe you could reflect back and say, wow, as a kid, maybe you had this gift where you were someone, you were able to pretty much create tools, just put together, certain things, like all sorts of whether it be furniture, whether it be instruments, you just know how to be a great advocate and put that together. Well, I'm here to shed light that this may have been what you have done in a past life. You see, we've lived so many past lives that as we awaken, we're seeing that, we are multifaceted beings. And so, as we've been told, just do one thing, just focus on this. You are kind of being called to blossom into the multi-dimensional frequencies of yourself. Because as the earth is evolving, the earth is shifting into high-dimensional frequency. You can no longer just remain into this one-dimensional, even three-dimensional self where you just stay limited in what you do. You have this oozing feeling, that I'm here to do more. It's not to say that, let's say you're working and your focus is on teaching, that you're gonna say, wow, every single day I'm gonna If I have this great thing of being an architect, I'm gonna teach if it's for 8 hours and you spend another 8 hours doing this. It's not to say that. It's to pretty much say that you're expanding, not just in consciousness, you know, your great being, even sometimes your physical attributes, your mentality, your emotions, your spirituality, you're being, you know, called forth to just shift and pretty much reflect all the innate parts of who you are at core. And so it's no longer just time to focus on what we've always been told of what we're here to do or how we're expected to live, and this thing has never been done before, and you can't accomplish it. Understand that your soul's essence has been calling you forth, to be your truest self, to tap into the best version of yourself. And if you feel that pull to be a multifaceted, multi-dimensional person, you of course plan it out. Like I gave this example, this is just simply an example, but it's pretty much to show you that the world is your oyster, and you could pretty much delve and become this beautiful blossom of a flower that you are, with so many different dimensional parts of yourselves. Shift the focus on what the status quo way of life has been and the expectation, As we go forth and we continue to evolve, we'll see that this was all part of the plan in this universe. You see, we may have limited forms, and as we fully awaken, more is coming to us. But it's pretty much just opening up our eyes to the greater essence that surrounds us, within us and all around us. So, my dear friends, blossom into the beautiful flower that you are, and step out of this limited, one-dimensional, three-dimensional way of living, because you're so much more than that. Blossom into the beautiful treasure, the multi-dimensional, multifaceted treasure that you are.